Welcome back to the Grippy Sock Club, where being called crazy is a compliment and trauma dumping is celebrated. I'm your host, Brooke, and a fellow member of the club, and we'll hope you stay. So today we are going to talk about the brains in relationships when it comes to having mental illness. It's super fun, and I'll tell you what, I could write the book. I could honestly write the book on what not to do in a relationship, a romantic one, and probably all the other ones too. But I digress. I know that I have screwed up a lot. So I'll be the first to say that I've done some crazy stuff in relationships, and I've been called crazy and every name in the book, honestly. And I'll tell you what, it always hurt in a sense of, yeah, you never call a girl crazy, okay? Guys, don't do it. But if you have BPD or, anxiety or anything like that, I have OCD as well. And being called crazy is 10,000 times worse than, because we do have mental illness. So if you're saying, oh, she's just being crazy, that kind of stuff, it really does weigh on us because we honestly think that we are. We tell ourselves that we are. At least I do. And I will say, when you live with BPD and anxiety and depression and trauma or any of this kind of emotional dysregulation, it can be hell, being in a relationship, in all honesty. And we also have to, so being in a relationship, you have to focus on yourself. There has to be an even balance of, attention and taking care of yourself, but also for the other person. And you have to be in a mentally well space to be able to do that. If you have borderline personality disorder, I know that. Unfortunately, I have been in relationships where I wasn't regulated like I should have been and have done some embarrassing things. And we're going to talk about it. So one thing that I do tend to do is I will read a room, and if I see anybody's face shift, the slightest little pickup of the eyebrow, lift of the eyebrow, it's just, I've done something wrong. And that's usually the first thing that I feel. And when I am in a relationship, it's like I just turn into this other person. It's like I'm totally normal, and I'm honestly, everybody's like, oh, how are you single? Because I don't even know how I'm single because I'm awesome. No, I'm just joking. So I will be totally normal and like regulated, and I have the best advice. Like when it comes to relationships, boom, 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 you have a problem. This is what you do. Oh, that person isn't respecting you. You need to leave. I am the best and most like content person version of myself when I'm not in a relationship. Okay. And I could be talking to somebody and it's fine. You would never know I had BPD. But the very moment that I'm called somebody's girlfriend that's when it all goes to shit. That's when it all goes south. And my BPD just comes out. And I don't know what that is. Honestly, I'm working with that in therapy. But as soon as there's a label, I'm so insecure. And it's like this confident person just left. And I'm so insecure and I'm overthinking everything. I mean, everything. And I also do have OCD. And that's when that comes in. I replay scenarios in my head over and over. But that being said, my mental illness just comes out to play. It's like, BPD's like, okay, we've been waiting on this. We've been waiting. and she does. She comes out to play. It's super fun. And then I'll tell people, if I get into a relationship with someone or if I'm interested in someone, I will straight up tell them ahead of time, hey, look, I have BPD. And I give them the chance to look it up, look into it, learn about it, and just get to know me and be prepared, honestly. Be prepared for what they're about to experience. because I will. And I tell them straight up, I'm so honest. I'm like, hey, this is going to happen, or this, I might do this, or, if I do this, if I start blowing you up on text messages, just ignore it. Just don't even read it. And I warn them. And they always end up going, you're crazy. And I'm like, I told you. I told you I was crazy. But it's not my fault. Now, I will say you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that uses that they have mental illness as an excuse to treat you wrong over and over and over and over. That is a cop-out, and you should not allow that. You shouldn't. You should have your boundaries, your healthy boundaries for yourself. Now, I will be the first to say this is why I tell people ahead of time. Maybe they can help me get out of it when I'm in an episode, or, not by saying, hey, you're having an episode, don't ever do that. But I think it's more like, so I talked about the fuck you, don't leave me. So when I'm in a relationship and I feel any sense of abandonment coming my way, so for example, I was dating someone and we were sitting on the couch, and I'm an affectionate person, very, very affectionate. And he's sitting on the other end of the couch. And I'm like, okay, obviously he doesn't love me anymore. He doesn't even like me. He's probably, what do they have, those little memes where the guy's rolled over and he's on his phone. The wife's like, he's probably like on Instagram, just scrolling. Don't even see me. He doesn't even see me. And I get in a little pissy mood because why aren't you loving on me? Why are you sitting so far? And it's not even mad at them. It's mad at me. Like, what did I do? And this is all stemming from somebody just sitting on the other end of the couch. And it's sad. It honestly is sad because it is a very insecure place that I live in. And I just crash. I sit there and I'll tell myself, no, they're just like having some personal space. You need to calm down. It's not you. You did nothing wrong. He's probably on his phone doing whatever he wants to do because he's allowed to do that. And you are playing video games on your phone. Games on your phone constantly. I feed this dog anyways. So it could be so innocent, but I will sit there and I will tell myself over and over, and it will not leave my brain, did I say something wrong? Did I, anybody, just language is different. I'll feel like they're pulling away from me. And it's something that I did, obviously. So that being said, I just spiral. So I'll shut down. Now, this is what dismissive avoidant, a lot of people with borderline personality disorder have this. I either have two sides of me, okay? I'll have one side that when my BPD comes out to play in a relationship, I call it going Super Saiyan. I call it going Super Saiyan because that's literally what it feels like. It's just like, I'm fine. And you're on fire and you're Super Saiyan and you're just going off on everybody with words, verbally. But then there's the other side of me, and this is why but this is why borderline's so confusing, because I will also shut down. I'll either go Super Saiyan or I will shut down completely and I'll just go quiet. And I don't even want to talk to you because if I talk to you, I'm going to be anxious. Like I'm just a ball of anxiety and I'd just rather not talk to you or anyone and just kind of get over it, right, on my own. Especially when I know that I'm doing something outrageous and it is BPD and they're just sitting at the other end of the couch and, I need to just chill out. And because I am very self-aware. And so I'll just tell myself, I'll just shut down. I just go somewhere else, I guess, because I don't want to talk about it. It's really a very anxious place that I get to in that moment. So it's either 100% Super Saiyan or not there at all. So there's no in between. Another issue is the fuck you, don't leave me. So when I do go Super Saiyan, I love calling it that. It really does feel like that. When I do go Super Saiyan, when I'm in a BPD episode, I will tend to say things that I don't mean, very shitty things. And I don't mean to do that. And I'm gonna tell you, this is a whole other side of me that only comes out in certain situations. Now, I've gotten a lot better at it. A lot better at it. Now, I don't really necessarily go Super Saiyan, okay? I just shut down. And a lot of people will think that it's them. I don't like them anymore. I just do all this. It's really not that. It's just my own shit, you know? And, but a lot of times when I do go Super Saiyan, I will say mean things. And that is coming from, we talked about last episode, the other side of me that protects myself from hurt and pain. And I'm basically, so borderlines are so afraid of abandonment, being abandoned. And again, you're sitting on the other side of the couch, you're abandoning me, you want to leave me, I did something wrong, you aren't into me anymore. There's so much better out there in this world than me. There's so many girls, there's so many beautiful females. Why am I so special? And it's just like over and over and over and over. They don't even like me, they could do better. And it's sad. And so I'll get mad at me, but then take it out on the people that I love. If I'm in love, it's way worse. If I feel like they're going to abandon me at any moment and I place this paranoid thought inside my head, I will start to shut down. Those two things. I'll either go Super Saiyan or shut down. And shutting down is my go-to now. So I will speak more on that. The moment that somebody, now what I needed, okay, back up. What I need in a relationship is way different than somebody else in a healthy, non-mentally ill relationship. I need someone that is going to see me shut down, you know, and not take it as a personal thing because it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with me and my own insecure bullshit. And really, when I do the fuck you don't leave me, so I'll go Super Saiyan and I'll just be like, you know what? You're this and you're that and you suck. And like, you know what? This is why you're shitty and this is why you're shitty and this is why, just the meanest stuff. And I'm not even meaning to, but I will tell you about yourself. And I feel like a badass when I'm doing it. And that's what sucks. That's what sucks is that other side of me comes out and like is protecting me. And that's the truth of it. And it has nothing to do with the other person. And that's what's so shitty. It has nothing to do with the other person. So whenever I'm done doing that and I've calmed down and my anxiety is like, you know, I'm usually shaking when I get into these modes. And it has to be pretty bad at this point for me to do that. Because like I said, I shut down now. But yeah, when I get in these modes, somebody else takes over the wheel. And again, you should never, I never expected someone or anyone to just be like, no, that's fine. You told me you have BPD, so abuse me verbally all you want. No, absolutely not. It's not okay. But it is something that I am working on and I have worked on for a very long time and I don't quite do anymore. So that's good. I can be regulated. But all I really needed whenever I had these fuck you, don't leave me moments is like when I would do that, I really just needed them to hold me, to hug me. Like if all I think about all these moments where I did that and they took it personally, which anyone would, right? Like I'm saying all this shit to you. Like, why wouldn't you take that personally? But it's whenever these things happen is really I just need somebody that would hear me when I say, hey, look, I have BPD, look into it. So you know, and that person not take a single damn thing I am saying personally and just hug me. When I get raged out, Super Saiyan on them, I need you to just wrap your arms around me. Hey, Brooke, just hold me. And I'll pull back or whatever, but like, just hold me. And that would have saved so many arguments that I've been in. And that's what sucks is I can't be like, you know what? What I'm really saying is like, fuck you, blah, 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 you suck, da, da, da. And then really I'm screaming out, please don't leave. Why are you leaving me? Like, at the same time as I'm yelling, leave, get out. And they think I really mean it. And at the moment, I do. And it's sad. It's a sad place to live in. And it's very lonely because, like, I get scared. I get scared of being loved because I'm going to get hurt. That's usually what it comes down to. I am going to get hurt. My heart is going to break into a million pieces. And when we have borderline, what did we say? It hurts 10,000 times more than it just feels like death. And what I've needed in these moments is someone to just listen to me yelling at them and just hug me and just shut me up. That would shut me up so fast because it's just that safe space of needing just reassurance. A lot of reassurance. You need a lot of reassurance as somebody with BPD in a relationship. It's a lot to love someone that has mental illness as much as I do, especially borderlines. We are a lot harder to love. But at the same time, borderlines have the biggest hearts. And the thing about us is we have so much love to give. I mean, we're the kindest, most loving. We would do anything for anyone that we love. But and that is the true us. We'll go 10,000 miles for the people that we care about. That really is. You call me at 3 a.m. and I'll show up. Doesn't matter. If you need me, I'm there. But we have such a stigma around, how childish we can act in a relationship. And that's what sucks. And I think about it, all these times I just needed someone to just hug me and say, I'm not going anywhere. I love you. You're loved. It's okay. I forgive you. And then never bring it up again, please. Like, never bring it up again and just forgive me. And I will stop right there. And if that's a trigger for me if someone brings it up later on, because then I'm really actually pissed at you. Not me this time. Borderline personality disorder is very complex. So take it as what we're saying to you when we're not in a healthy mindset, when we're angry and stuff like that, we're rushing on emotions. Do not just everything that we're saying, that's the opposite of what we mean, at least me. And it sucks because then I'll be like, wait, why did they leave? Because you just yelled at them for like 30 minutes to leave. And then I spiral more because why did they actually leave? Oh my God, they didn't love me after all, right? Wild thought, wild processing going on there. And it's not being dramatic or attention seeking. It's literally just the little kid inside of us that's been abandoned so many times. And so we've loved people that have just left us, and the heartbreak of that growing up. We never learned how to self-regulate, self-soothe. We never learned how to self-soothe properly. And I've been doing this thing where I just hug myself. If I feel any type of way like that, I will just hold myself and say, it's okay, all this stuff. And it helps. It helps. Now, I think what people have the hardest time with borderline is that splitting, fuck you, don't leave me situation. They don't understand it. They're like, okay, why would you tell me to leave if you didn't want me to leave? And I don't know. It's just how we are. We push people. Well, I do. I push people away if they get too close. If I feel I'm too happy, I'm going to push you away because I'm scared you're going to hurt me. I'm going to push you away before you hurt me. And it's not fair. We need somebody to fight for us because at the end of the day, we are so worth loving. And it's just the truth. We really are the most loving people, and we deserve love just as much as the next person. And just because we went through all this trauma when we were younger doesn't mean that we're undeserving of being loved like everybody else. It just takes a little bit more patience, and we're worth that. I think I'm worth that. I think somebody who would be patient with me and learn with me and grow with me and come to counseling. Like if you go into counseling with the person that you love with the borderline, I think that's beautiful. I think that is so much because you can help by learning about it yourself, and also you can kind of get a sense of why they're doing the things that they're doing. And you can bring it up if y'all are having an argument. You can use the tools that they give you. Now, DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, is the best thing for this. I am actually doing dialectical behavioral therapy right now, and it's helping me regulate my emotions and learn more about myself and being more self-aware and stuff like that. So I think if you love somebody with borderline, I think going to do dialectical behavioral therapy, DBT, with them is the best thing that you could do for your relationship and for them. Because again, just because we were abused as children and traumatized as children and never were given the proper tools does not mean that we are not worth fighting for. So I promise you, got a lot of love to give us BPDers. We just a little childish sometimes. The urge to act out on panic, whether by lashing out or just disappearing in general altogether, is real. And none of it has anything to do, and we can be a little bit manipulative. But we don't mean to in that moment, like we said in the last episode. We said in the last episode about how that other side of us comes out and is protecting us. Man, we've been hurt. We've been hurt really badly. And we just don't want to feel that again. It's not manipulation. We're not meaning for it to be manipulation. Let me just say that. It is manipulation. We can be manipulative. But God, do we not mean to do that? And again, that's the other side of us coming out to protect us. And we love greatly. So please know that we're not doing these things to hurt you. It just is just how we learn to protect ourselves. It's panic. It's panic, especially if you have panic disorder. Usually with BPD, you have comorbid, different kinds of just fun little mental illnesses together in conjunction. And like I said before in the last episode, I have panic disorder. I have anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder. My panic attacks are so bad now that I'm going into seizures. I have depression. I have BPD, borderline personality disorder, obviously. I have ADD, ADHD, OCD. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. And everybody thinks that obsessive compulsive disorder is like, I hate it. How people think it's like, oh, Brooke, no way you have it because your house is dirty. And that's my depression. Yay me. So having OCD and depression together is just like not cool. It's just not fun. But everybody's like, oh, you have OCD, your house is like, there's no way that you have it because your house is dirty. Or people will be like, oh, I have OCD so bad, like I have to have this right here and this right here. And they're like, haha, no, like that bothers me a lot because as someone that is diagnosed with OCD and I don't do that, that sucks. So stop idolizing OCD, okay? Now, some people with OCD will do that. They can do that. They have rituals and things that they need to follow. But a lot of it's not like that. So stop that. That's a stigma I need to get out there. So stop. Us with OCD in relationships, it can be hell. Because we've already thought, that's where the overthinking comes in. We're just ruminating and ruminating and ruminating. What have we done wrong? What did we do wrong? If you think their moods are your fault, you shape shift to keep the peace, your entire being becomes wrapped up into that person. When you have OCD and borderline, that makes it 10 times worse because you're just sitting there. Okay, this person is sitting on the other end of the couch. This person, okay, he's been up. See, this is my problem. He's been up. I know he's up. And he's not even like opened. He's posting all this on Facebook, but he hasn't even responded to me yet. He doesn't even like me. That's it. He don't even like me. He's out. And he's just wasted my time. And then I get mad. And then I'm like Super Saiyan out. No, I'm just kidding. The only time I Super Saiyan is whenever I swear it is just like that. It's just like, is whenever not with you. If I'm on the other end of the phone is when that's bad. I will text. I'll just blow your shit up. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. When I look back on it, when I'm done doing that, when I get out of my episode and I'm like, oh my God, I just sent this person like a whole 50 book, just a memoir. And I don't. And I'm looking at it, I'm like so embarrassed because I'm just like, delete. I can't delete. So they've already seen that. So that's cool. That's a really fun thing for me. But I'm just calling myself out. Nobody's going to ever want to date me. I'm never going to be alone forever. But no, we have a lot of love to give. The other person becomes your identity. It wrapped up in like, how can I show this person love? How can I love this person like they need to be loved? I will research. If they have mental illness, I will research and learn all about their mental illness. And I have a high standard of love with my borderline. I have a very high standard of love. And the moment yet you are underneath that, so borderlines see very black and white. I'm learning this. I don't understand what they mean by that because I can only see this black and white. So when they say there's a gray area, I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? And I'm still learning what that is. I've healed a lot. So I know that somebody is not good so not all bad or not all good. But when it comes down to it, that really is how I see things. This person they just did this. That's bad. That makes them a bad person. Or I'm a bad person because I did this. It's never like that person is just a human being. But I say never. I'm going on a tangent. There's very black and white thinking. A person is either all good or all bad when we get in these episodes. So when we take it out on you and we're doing all this, we really do see you as this terrible person that just wasted our time and has played with our emotions and all this stuff. And it sucks because when we come to, we're like, no, they're actually a good person. And I know that at this point, I can be like, no, they're just a human being and everybody makes mistakes. Now, another flaw that a lot of people with BPD have is excusing abuse or excusing other people's actions towards ourselves when they're also mentally ill over and over and over. We have no boundaries. There's no boundaries set for ourselves because, like I said, our whole identity is wrapped up in how we can make the other person happy, not ourselves. Like if they're happy, we're happy. And that's just how it is. If that person feels loved, I feel loved. They're happy. We're good. Everything's good. And it could shift based off of if they wake up in a bad mood, then I did something wrong and I need to fix it. And it's just the spiral, the OCD. It just ruminate. And this is all going on inside, right? You'll never know that I'm doing these things. It's a war that I have to face. And I think you can already tell it is hell. I mean, I can't stop thinking of overthinking, just doing it. And we will do anything to keep the peace and make that person happy. We just will. But we don't think about ourselves. We don't put ourselves, we need to be showing ourselves that much love. I know I was with somebody that struggled with depression and I loved him very much. He struggled with depression really bad and he also had bipolar. And he one time had a really bad episode of depression and he was in bed for like 3 days straight. And I was also very depressed. Very, very depressed at this time. But the kind of person that I am and all the love that I would want, right? But I just dropped everything and I laid in bed with him for 3 days straight. I made sure he ate. I didn't leave his side because in my mind, I'm like, I would want somebody to do that for me. I just laid with him and held him for 3 days, even though I was also very depressed. And I wasn't giving myself room to be depressed because if I'm helping him, it's going to help me. And it's just how it is. That's how I love. If that person is sad, I don't want them to be sad. And it makes me feel better to help them not be so sad. You know what I mean? So I did everything. I would clean the house and I would bring him food. I made sure that he ate. And I was just laid in bed with him. But I was also depressed. And I should have been making time for myself too. I should have, I look back on these moments and I'm like, yeah, I needed that too. But at the same time, did I? Because I need to be able to self-regulate myself and not make somebody else feel like, and he didn't do that on purpose. He didn't make me do anything. I did that. I chose to do that. But I need to get into therapy. And so I did. So that I wouldn't put it on another person. Although I chose that and he never, again, he never made me do anything. He struggled with depression and I was just, my support was just like, BPDs, we go all out. Go all out. There's no like in between. We're either like all in, yes, I've already picked out our wedding ring, like, or we are just like, nah, not about it. So it just is what it is. And we will jump into things head on and we will seem very clingy. It's just, we don't mean to. We love hard. With borderline personality disorder, we feel everything very intensely, more than the average person. So when we love hard, too much. No, I'm just joking. We don't love too much. It can be too much for a lot of people. But again, it comes down to we are worthy of that because we do have so much love to give. And when we feel it, we feel all of it. So we love you. Look, it comes down to we're a lot. We can be a lot. But if you love someone with mental illness, okay, and you love them for the person that they are without their mental illness, like we need to stop seeing everybody as their mental illness and just these things can be managed, okay? Let me just say that outright. It can be managed. These people just need a little more fight in you. If you love someone with BPD, bipolar, depression, anything, we need to know that we aren't too much. We aren't unlovable. We need to know that you love us. And by showing support in therapy and by learning about what we go through, doing your research, I promise you it's worth it. It's worth it. It's not impossible for us with mental illness to be loved. And it's not impossible for us with mental illness to not have a healthy relationship. Okay? It just takes a little bit more patience and a little bit more understanding and an open mind and true love and care for the person that you're. So yeah, dating around isn't that easy when you have things like this because it's hard. It's going to take more patience and understanding and all that than just going and starting to talk to somebody and like a normal person without mental illness would be having all these issues and stuff like that around them. But whatever, we're worth it. And make sure that you see that person is making the steps to at least get better. Because again, it is not impossible to have a healthy relationship with anyone that has BPD, anything like that. We just need a little more love and care. And again, patience, big thing, patience. But anywho, I'm going to wrap it up. And I hope that all my tangents have taught you something today about what it is like to love someone with mental illness or what it's like to go through mental illness whenever you're in relationships. I think you saw how bad my OCD can get because I did kind of just let it go out from the brain, out my mouth to you guys. So that's about as raw as I can get right there. But I thank you so much for coming and staying and listening to me go on and on and on about my love life for the last hour or 30 minutes. We're glad that you came by. We'll see you next episode. And don't forget to like and subscribe and follow our socials and everything. If you like what you've heard, share it with your friends and family. If you or somebody that you love has mental illness, and they're struggling with their relationships, just send them this. Let them know that they're not alone, that you get it, that, there's people out there that get it and they understand how hard it can be. And I thank you so much for coming.